there, welcome back. Now, what to paint, I'm thinking a waterfall. I promised you last week I would paint a waterfall for you. A few people mentioned on my Facebook page that, or on my YouTube channel, that you saw a lovely waterfall hanging behind me. Now I'm going to show you that, okay? And here it is. Now, is this the waterfall that you were talking about? I have this a while now actually, and I have a tutorial of this on my Patreon page if you want to go and check it out. You know, this one I'm doing this week is going to be, it'll have the same techniques, but it won't be as detailed. It'll be a very quick, it'll be kind of something like that, but not so much going on. It's a lovely waterfall. I'm thinking that, or you see I did a sunset last week. I don't know. There's a sunset we done last week. Oh, this is one I just finished actually for someone. It's Cork Opera House in Cork City. She wanted it, and it's going over to, I think it's going to Italy. It's as a gift for someone, I think. That's going to Italy. That's quite nice, isn't it? You know, every week you kind of struggle and you try to think of something to paint, don't you? You know, I'm kind of looking around. See, look at all this lovely artwork now here, and I can't even sell it. It's just sitting there. I must frame them and get out there and do an exhibition or something, or even just display my work on walls, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm thinking perhaps maybe just a nice waterfall. I have lots and lots of requests. I have lots of images on my phone, screenshots from requests by yourselves and by people on Facebook. I have a lot of stuff there, loads. There's probably 50 or 60 different images from followers asking for me to paint particular scenes. I might just go through my phone and pick out one, perhaps at random. I know there's a lot of people asking me to paint stuff from, I can't think of it now, the Utah or Canada or something like that. So I might go through my phone just now quickly and pick something out and just do something kind of, maybe something slightly different. Again, what do you think? But I did promise you I would paint that lovely waterfall. I know I promised you I would do that, and there's a lot of people looking forward to seeing that as well. So it's going to be a surprise. Alright, so I'll say grab your stuff, grab your paints and your palette and your canvas, and let's get ready to have a bit of fun and try something different perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, alright, go on, get some stuff there and get ready to follow me along, alright? I won't be long, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Right, here we go. Canvas 16 by 12, primed once, sanded very lightly, nice and smooth. Right, to the photograph, I'm going to do that waterfall. Isn't that lovely? And I just want to show you about creating that kind of depth. You know, the depth that we have here with the water and the distance and the trees kind of coming over in front of it on both sides, and a little bit of mist. So yes, I just want to show you how I kind of got that effect, because a lot of people were asking me about this. So let's go. Let me tell you my colours. I have titanium white, naples yellow, cadmium yellow, some phaylo blue, some crimson, a little burnt umber, a little black, and a little burnt sienna. That's it. I have a little tiny drop of turpentine here, and in this there is a little drop of linseed oil as well. Okay, now let me show you. It's just regular turpentine, look, pure turpentine, and I put in, I suppose, if there's this much turpentine, then I put in this much linseed oil, okay? So maybe, I suppose, 90% turps and 10% linseed oil. And that kind of turns this kind of yellowy colour. And it's lovely. It makes it nice and kind of oily and slippery on the canvas. And it helps the paint really kind of move around very, very nicely. So, let's start. I'm going to, let me just fix my phone here now. Let me get the nice angle on this so I can see properly. Right. I want to do a quick line, a quick sketch just across the canvas. just where the top of the water is here where the rocks are, alright? And I can just go down as far as that. So very, very roughly, it's about over a third, isn't it? I'm going to say around there. Okay, just roughly. And I'm going to start with my large stubby brush. Okay, you can get the set of these off of me if you like, just send me an email. Large stubby brush, I'm going to dampen this slightly. Okay, look, just dip it in. And then I'm going to dab it on some tissue, just take off the excess. I'm going to make up a very dark colour now for this background, alright? So let's go with some phaylo blue, some black. I'd say that's a bit too blue now, that's very, very blue, isn't it? Let's get some more black, and I don't want this too watery because as you can see, it's showing right through the canvas. They're very transparent colours, those colours. I might take a touch of burnt umber, and the burnt umber will kind of make it that bit thicker, more opaque. That's not bad. I'm just going to cover all of this now, down as far as that line, with this very dark colour. So it's a mix of burnt umber, black and phaylo blue. Probably equal amounts of each, okay? And again, I don't want this too watery, but I want it to kind of move around as well at the same time. I don't want it to be kind of dragging across the canvas too much. Now this is quite a thin coat. I will put more on top of this once I have it blocked in generally, you know. That's what I kind of tend to do. I work in very thin layers earlier on, but then I will add to it and thicken it up. So even as we're painting down here now, this is kind of setting on the canvas. It's almost kind of soaking slightly into it, and it's getting a kind of a footing. So when I go over it again the second time, it won't move around as much. Okay, I'm damping my brush now, just the corner of the brush each time, just to make it slightly wet, okay? You see, it helps kind of just break the paint and helps it move around that bit better, look. It's quite thin now, very, very thin. And what I want to do is, I want to give this almost like a kind of a dark bluey black kind of a background. Now let me take some phaylo blue, perhaps a touch of crimson, just for now. And where the waterfall is, I'm going to just put that kind of dark, rich bluey kind of a colour in around the centre there, okay? Just like that, there we go. And then what will happen is when I put my white water over this, it'll kind of mix almost slightly into that blue. So you get that kind of bluey sort of a glow in the water. Does that make sense? So I'm thinking ahead all of the time. I'm thinking one step ahead or two steps ahead all of the time. So what I'm going to do outside this now is maybe with just some, let's just go with black. What do you think? Now you can see that's starting to stick a bit better, you see. I'm going into just black now on its own with no thinners. My brush is already kind of a little bit damp-ish from earlier. So look, I'm just going to pick up some pure black on its own. I'm going right on there now, and I'm spreading that around on the canvas, and you see now that's covering much better, and it's flowing around a lot easier because I have that wet kind of coat underneath. So let's go with a little bit of black again. We could even take a touch of blue as well, and come over here, and let's just kind of thicken up the layers just slightly, you see. They're all getting much thicker now, and it's staying better on the canvas. And just be very loose with this. I'm not going to worry too much about this, to be quite honest. Let me have a look at that now and see. So you can you just kind of make out now that little bit of blue kind of a glow just in the centre there. Now I know there's a bit of a shine on the canvas. I'm just wondering, should I tilt my easel forward just a little? I don't know, would that help? Let me try it. Let me just loosen the easel, and if I tilt this forward just a little, will that shimmer go away? 1 sec now, let me tighten this up and see. Now, let me have a look. Did that help? I think that might have helped just a little. Just a little. Right, I think we'll stick with this, and what I'm going to do now is put in the water, alright? This is the exciting part, and it's so easy, it really is. Just give it a quick dip in your turpentine and run it along your tissue just to get the majority of the paint off, okay? It's not spotless, but it's fine, it'll do for this. I'm going to take some phthalo blue, and I'll take some white. Nice bright whitey bluey kind of a colour there now, okay? And that's fine, lovely thick paint, okay? That's what I need. And with this thick paint down on the tip of my brush, I think I'll start off on the top. So we have a little bit of a waterfall up on top here, just pull it down and lift off. Pull it down and lift off, okay? And softening out at the edges. Now, I'm going to leave that as it is. It's actually a little bit whitey, I might add a bit more blue to it, come on. Why not? Let's add a little blue into it. Okay, there we go. Next, I'll just take a bit more blue, and I'm going to cut in front of this one then and come down with this waterfall here. So I'm going to bring it across like this, and then turn and pull it down and lift off. Okay? Give that a wipe now on your tissue each time you do this, just the tip of your brush, and that'll keep it nice and fresh and clean. Okay, let's come across again, turn and lift off. Let's probably maybe add a touch more of white into it. Now, how's that? So what I'm going to do now at this stage, it may be a little bit wide, so I'm just going to go along the middle and bring the centre of it down just that little bit more. I'll pick up a tiny touch of white, a tiny touch of blue. Now, and what I'm going to do then is I'll take a palette knife, okay, I'll take a little touch of this white, there's a bit of blue in this now as well by the way, take a little bit of that white, and just on the top I'm going to kind of turn the palette knife and pull down gently, okay, watch now. Okay, like that, and then I'll take my little soft brush. You see, if I can find it, that is. You see, I have a lot of soft blender brushes, but they're kind of slightly hard on the very tips because they've been used quite a bit. So I'm just going to very gently pull. Look, I'm hardly even touching it. Just like that. Now, let me just soften some of the edges here. Here. Okay, now I'm leaving it at that, alright? The next job is to get another brush. I'll take, we'll say, this brush, okay? And I'll go into some of my white with a dry brush, some white with some of the blue, and let's create some mist. Now, that's a bit grey, let's take a bit more blue. A little bit of blue, a little bit of white. And let's go around in little circles, like so, and soften it out. Now clean your brush after every couple of turns, okay? Because you're picking up that dark colour from underneath and it's going a very blackish kind of a grey colour. I want to keep it kind of a dull sort of a bluey, a cool bluey colour. Alright? Clean it again, go back into some blue and some white. You see, and I'm just going around in circles very, very lightly, up on both sides, you see? Up and out of the painting. Let's try that again. A little bit of white, a little bit of blue. And let's go up out of the painting and let it fade away up into that dark colour, you see? Round in circles. Don't be afraid, you're not going to ruin the painting. It's only paint, you can go over it again if you need to. Isn't that right? And I might just add a touch of white in the centre, give that a nice bright spot, perhaps. Okay. You see, and I'm letting it all, I'm barely touching the canvas now at this stage. Look, just with the tip of my brush, letting it go up into that dark and disappear. See? But you can go over this if you want. You can go over it 2 times or 3 times. It doesn't matter. As many times as you like. Now let me just kind of soften this here and there with the soft brush, just to take some of those brush swirly marks out of there. Just a little. Look, it's only just to create a little mist on the bottom of the waterfall. That's all. There. Okay? That's all. Now, next. How about some trees? Yes, let's try some trees. I'm thinking now, brushes. What kind of brushes? I could use this. If I give this a quick clean and some tissue, I could use that, but it might be a bit big. It might be a little on the big side. What about this one? We try this one? Let's try this one. Let's go with a dry brush and let's take some cadmium yellow, some phaylo blue, and again I want to keep this cool, so a bit more blue than there is yellow. Now I have a nice cool kind of a green there. Let's just try this. And I'm only using the corner of the brush, that's all. Just the corner of the brush. And I'm going to go in to some of that one up in the back there. And again, that will then just push it right back into the distance, okay? And then I'm going to just leave all of this, soften right back into the dark until it just disappears. You see? And then that will be just one layer finished. Okay? Now, how's that? Again, look, you can try different brushes. If you're not happy with the certain brush that you have, you can try a different type of a brush. I'm just looking around here now to see, look, I have another brush here, I might try this. A very flat kind of a worn brush. I think I'll try it. Okay, get some phaylo blue, some cadmium yellow, let's try a little Naples yellow also. And we have again a nice cool green there. No, I don't think this brush is working either. I'm looking for a specific shape of a brush, and I'm thinking, you know what now? Perhaps even this one, the one I used for the mist. I'm going to try this one again. It's just tricky to try and find the right brush. You know the right brush when you try it, and you say, yes, this is it. This is perfect. This is what I need. So this is what I do. I try different brushes until I get the effect that I want. They don't always look exactly like you want them to look. Let's try this way. Okay, it's not bad. Again, I'll make it a little cool now to push it off into the distance. Some nice dark cool tones. I'm just dab, 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 and I'm just thinking about the shape of those trees. So we've kind of one layer sort of coming out in front of the next layer. Does that make sense? So I'm just taking a bit of crimson into this now, and I just want to add a little in front of this waterfall here, just to kind of make it go off into the distance a little, just to push it back, that's all. Let me take a bit of Naples yellow in there. So you can see I'm just kind of, it's trial and error, I'm kind of trying it. And you at home can do the same thing. Try a certain brush, try different brushes. If you don't think one brush is working for you, put it down and pick up a different one. Because each brush, I find, each brush is completely different and completely unique. And each one gives you a particular shape or a style which may be useful for only certain areas in a painting. Now I will probably try my large stubby in a moment, just for some very solid highlights. Now some naples yellow, some cadmium yellow. And you see, we're going a little brighter now, because we're going into the darks. I want to showcase the bright foliage. Alright? And vary it, maybe add a touch of red here and there. Okay? Now I take maybe a touch of blue. Now I'm going to let all this now fade away off into the distance, right? Down into this dark colour, in by the mist. Just dab it all around everywhere, look. It's disappearing down into the mist. How's that looking? Well, it's not looking too bad so far, is it? Sure, look, it's not too bad. Let's go to the other side. Bit of blue, bit of cadmium yellow, and a hint of white, just a hint. And I'm going to cut in front of the waterfall here, because again, that pushes it back, doesn't it? It pushes it back in behind the trees. And let me soften this one now right back as well. I'm kind of going around in little, small little circles, you see? And it's just a nice easy way of creating some foliage, that's all. If you want to really go to town on your painting, you can by all means paint each leaf individually. If that's the way you like it, then brilliant. But I just kind of like, I like just creating nice little impressions of a scene. And I think it's just much more enjoyable to look at a painting when it's just a nice kind of impression of something, rather than looking at something and saying, well, it looks like a photograph, it's brilliant, it's lovely. Yes, but that's what your camera is there for. Go and take a photograph and frame it. If you want to paint a photograph, just go and take a photograph, you know. But I've great respect for people who can paint something like a photograph. I think that's amazing, it really is. But it's just not my style, it's just not. I've never grown up thinking to myself, oh God, I wish I could paint something like that to look like a photograph. You know, it's never appealed to me, I suppose. I never had the interest. So for now I'm happy just to paint like this. A nice little impression of a scene. Nothing too fancy. Now a little bit of mauve over here. And a little bit of mauve will just help give it that bit more distance as well. So there we go. Okay. So we have nice little waterfall with some foliage coming in on either side. And I'm thinking I might just try this brush and I might just give it some very sharp highlights. So let's just get some cadmium yellow and some white. Now it'll mix with the colour already there, look, okay? So let me just try this now. It may not work. Let me just try it. Okay, that's not what I had in mind. So you see, already I'm not happy with that. Okay, I might try this a bit more flatter kind of a brush. You'll see there's kind of a point. It's almost pointy on one corner. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So let me just go along now on some of these bright parts and just add a little light here and there. Still not feeling it. No, I'm still not getting it. You know what I mean? It's just not doing what it's told. And I'm sure you get paintings like that all of the time, where something is just not behaving. There, I think that's a bit better. let me try and fix this thing here because this doesn't look like a tree at all. One or two around here maybe. And it's just about kind of capturing the light. So let's imagine there's kind of some light coming down from above, catching the tops of the trees, the canopies. Okay, how about that? Okay, let's leave it at that. I think that is fine. And I might just soften some of the ends here where the mist is. I just soften some of those gently down into that mist. Make it a bit more misty, that's all. See? There we go. And we have a lovely mist. How about that? Okay, I'm going to move on to the bottom section here now, and what I'm going to do first is just sketch very loosely. Okay, let's just bring the water line to around here, alright? Just to give us some nice little reflections. Okay, and I want to make it wide enough. I don't want to go too narrow with the waterfall. So let's go here and let's go here. I think that looks pretty nice. Because it's closer to us, it's going to be slightly wider than the ones behind. So does that make sense? I think it does. And we don't have to worry about the rocks and all that kind of stuff. You can put them, you can kind of sketch roughly where you want the rocks to go, but I generally kind of just look at the painting or the photograph or whatever it is and just kind of go from that, very kind of loosely, alright? So here we go. I will pick up a brush. Now what I tend to do when I'm doing waterfalls like this is I do a lot of blocking in, okay? So I'll block in this water here with the very same dark that I done behind this one. So a very rich dark kind of a blue. And then block in these with perhaps a very dark browny black, okay? Again, very thin colour, very thin watery colour. But not very watery, but you get the idea. So I'm going to dampen my brush there now, and I'm going to take some phaylo blue and a little black. It's damp, it's not soaking wet, it's just nice and wet. Okay? Now, let me just have a look at that. There, that's not bad. So you see, I can put my highlight colour on over the stem when I'm doing the water, and it'll have that lovely kind of blue glow behind the water, if you know what I mean. It's handy rather than just kind of working on a white canvas all of the time. It's nice to kind of tint the canvas here and there like this. You can, of course, you can tint the entire canvas, and I've seen a lot of you sending me on paintings with your canvases kind of tinted one colour beforehand. That's fantastic, it really is. I must do a painting like that at some stage. It all depends on what you're painting really. I tend to kind of tint different parts of the canvas when I'm blocking in like this. I wouldn't paint a lot of paintings where the canvas is all one colour, like a light brown or something. It's just personal preference really, let's be honest. Personal preference. If you like painting like that, then do it. Okay, I'm going to take some burnt umber and some black, and again, now it's not very watery, it's nice and kind of creamy, and I'm just going to block in these rocks just here, and I'm only doing this now just to kind of help me later on, that's all, to give me a base. Okay, that's all, nothing more and nothing less. It's just to give me a nice kind of a dark base to work on, and I can then start working in highlights into this, you see. Now let me take a bit more black, a bit more brown, and let's go over here with this. I know a lot of people are kind of frightened of painting rocks. They're afraid in case they mess up their paintings. I kind of generally keep my rocks very sort of simple. Of course you can't go into a lot of detail with rocks, and if I wasn't doing a tutorial like this, I would probably take my time at home and go into more detail on the rocks, put in more shadow, put in more highlights, to take my time. But it's difficult to kind of take your time when doing a tutorial like this, unless I do a time lapse or something, but I don't like that. I really kind of have at maximum maybe an hour's worth of video, so it can be kind of quite frustrating at times when you know you have to kind of hurry along, and because I generally like to take my time with things like this. So I'm thinking perhaps next week we might do a two-part, so half next week and half the week after, so I can do a bigger canvas and take my time and just do it nice. And you know, not saying that this is not nice, but you get the idea. Take our time as we go through it and chat and have a bit of fun, you know. Right, I have these blocked in. Okay, I'm just going to let that kind of set just for a little while. Let me think now, what can we do? I could probably start working in some highlights on the rocks, just while I'm waiting for that to kind of set just very slightly on the canvas. What I'll do is I'll move to a smaller kind of a flatter brush. Now it's not perfectly flat, okay? I have a perfectly flat one right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's the very same, it's a number 4, it's the very same as the small stubby. Okay, I just don't have one to hand now because I can't find it. I normally have a lot of them here. I must have misplaced it or something, because I bring my paint box in and out of the house all of the time painting. Small flattish kind of a one, and a nice little flat roughish kind of a one, okay? Whichever brush you're used to. Let's take a little touch of burnt sienna and a little touch of Naples yellow. I'll start with this, I think. I'm going to work in the highlights at the tops, look. And I'm going to basically bring it down in the direction of the fall of the rock. So now, right now, I'm thinking the rock's kind of falling downwards. So let's paint a brush stroke in that direction. I think it just really helps show how the rock is falling. And look, let it soften down into that dark colour down underneath. Okay, that's it. Give it a clean on the tissue. Now I'm working just paint on its own, no thinners, alright? Because it's kind of wettish on the canvas, so it will naturally thin as you're painting it on, you see? Okay, there we go. Let's vary this now just a little. Let's bring one across here and down, like that, okay? And you know what, now I'm not even looking at the reference photograph, okay? I'm just going to go this now completely my own way. It doesn't have to be the same, does it? Come on, let's just go our own way. I'll use the reference photo just for maybe reflections and stuff like that. I don't think I need it to be very truthful. Now a little tiny touch of crimson, little touch of Naples yellow, and I want to go for that kind of burnt orangey kind of a sandstone kind of a colour. Let's put another one or two in here. I'm softening these now into the darker colours all of the time, and it's just very short little strokes, okay? Short brush strokes. That's all I'm doing. So you can keep it simple. You don't have to go very complicated with rocks at all. Now let's just sit back for a moment and take a look at that. Now it looks good already, doesn't it? So I'll clean my brush down quickly and I'll start on the other side. Again, burnt sienna and Naples yellow, and I'll start on this one here. Okay, let's just go like that. I'm not worried about this side here because I'm painting over this with my waterfall anyway, so I'm not too concerned about how that looks. Burnt sienna again, some Naples yellow. Let's kind of vary the shapes a little, but you can see I'm keeping my brush strokes at an angle like this at all times, you see? It helps to show the fall of the rock falling down. Because if I was to just go like this now with my brush, look, like that, it just doesn't look right, does it? So I always put my brush strokes down like this, okay? It's just an easy way of approaching a rock. Now let me just add a little to this one up here. And this is just the first stage, don't worry, I will be putting more on this again very soon. Okay, and let's put one or two here. Big chunky rocks coming down. There. Now, clean the brush, and I'm going to mix a nice kind of a purple colour. So let's go with some phthalo blue and plenty of crimson. A nice rich purpley colour, and I'm going to just start putting in some of the shadows in here. Okay, you can see I'm just kind of wiggling the brush. Here and there, bringing out the shadows in behind some of those crevices, you see, dark side of the rocks. Now, let me just sit back and take a look at that. So the light is coming down from the centre, hitting the tops of the rocks, you see. Now, a little bit more, a little bit of that nice purpley colour. And I'm keeping this purple more on kind of the red side, so it's kind of a plum, because if you put more of blue in this, it's going to mix with this orange and you'll end up with a very muddy kind of a colour, and I don't want that. So I'm keeping it on the warm side of purple, like a red-grey type of a colour. Okay? Let's just go down here, add a little bit of shadow here and there. Nothing too particular, nothing too fussy. Okay, now let's give that a clean, let's leave that alone. I'm now going to do my water, and this is where it all comes together. I have a nice little flat brush here, look, it's the very same as my stubby brush, okay? The very same type of hair, very soft synthetic hair, okay? And I'm only using this one out for the water because it has more of a flat tip. This one is more open for bushes and trees. You could use it, but I have more control with this, I think. So let's try this. Any big flat kind of a soft brush you have will do fine. Now, again, a light blue. So let's take some phthalo blue and some white. Plenty of white. And I'm going for just a nice bright blue first on this. And then I hit that with some highlights later. So, here we go. Load the tip of your brush, you can all see that. And let's do this. I'm going to start coming in from this side and turning, and coming then in from this side and turning. Alright? And remember just to lift off as you come down. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Nice and straight. Turn, pull down, and lift off. Okay? Simple. Now I'll turn the brush around, and I go again. Pull it around, turn, and lift off. Simple, isn't it? You've probably seen many artists do this now, lots of times. It's just a nice easy way of doing a little waterfall coming down. Now I've pulled that right over the front rock there, you see? Right over, and let's pull this one right over as well. And I can then cut in front of that again with the rock later on. Alright, not to worry. A little bit more blue. Now, I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to turn. And I'm sort of dragging it over the canvas grain, you see? I'm allowing the canvas to hit and miss with the paint. I'm not leaning too hard. Lift off nice and gently, like so. Clean it on a tissue each time, just the tip of your brush, because you don't want to be putting brown on there. So let's go once more. Now, let's sit back and have a look. That's not bad now, is it? And what you can do then, if you have a very soft brush, you can just pull some of it down, soften it kind of in very gently. That's the first stage done. Okay. The next stage is palette knife. I'll take a little bit of white on my knife. Okay. and just hit the very top edge and kind of turn it slightly. Okay, watch now. Just here and there. Just for a bit of sunlight catching that, that's all. See? Simple, isn't it? Another little bit of white. And there we are. Nice bright light from that water. Okay, done. Waterfall finished. Next step, let's just add some little spray down the bottom, very, very simply. Let's take a nice clean dry brush now. I'll try this one. Okay, nice clean dry brush. A little bit of blue again, a little bit of white. I'm just going to very gently, in small circular motions, look, just soften it in. Down the end. Okay? Now, it's a good idea too to sort of pick up little touches of that rock colour. So I'll show you what I mean, look. I'm picking up that little bit of brown and I'm kind of bringing it across here and there. And that's very good, as it almost shows the rock behind the mist, if you know what I mean. Rather than just having a bright white covering the rock. Pick up some of that brown look and kind of, I'm barely touching it now with my brush, alright? And sort of bring it down into the water and even bring it across as well slightly. See? There we go. Now, very carefully then, just clean our brush again. And let's try a little bit on the other side. I hope you're following me along now with this. And I hope we're having a bit of fun. There we go, look at that. And I may just brighten it slightly in the centre, okay? Just brighten it slightly more. Make it that bit brighter. Now, there. And that is a waterfall pretty much done for now. So I'm going to leave the water for now, and I'm just going to move on to our rocks again. And I'm going to start lightening the rocks and varying the rocks also. Now I'm looking at the photograph. Okay, I'm just going to go for little Naples yellow, some white. I might try a touch of cadmium yellow in that. I'm just making a very small mix now, look, just a little bit, that's all we need. And let's just cut in front of the water here with this one. I might take a bit more white actually. And just kind of generally pulling it downwards, creating just a rough kind of a surface. That's really all I'm trying to do. Just create a little rough kind of a surface, that's all. So let's go here, look, a little couple of flicks downwards. And I want to start varying it as well. I don't want every single one of them to look exactly the same. So I'm just going to start varying slightly. And I will keep rubbing the tip of my brush just to keep it nice and fresh and clean. You see? It's all I'm doing, simple, isn't it? Now, a little bit of crimson and a little bit of Naples yellow with some white. Let's try some of that, yes? A kind of a pinky colour. Because remember, the colour you have on your palette will not be the colour you put on. It's going to mix with the browns and the blacks on there and change shades. You see, we have like a nice kind of a grey there now, don't we? A nice light kind of a grey. And just pull that down gently. So we're getting there now, aren't we, look? We're starting to get different shades. And let's move over to the next one. Some Naples yellow, little touch of crimson, some white. And let's put some highlights on these. Let's just cut a front cut across in front of that water there. I'm just kind of softening it back very slightly into the darker colour, you see. And of course you can use a palette knife for this. I might even try a bit of palette knife work myself in this in a moment. That's no harm. Whatever makes you happy in painting, do it, despite what anybody says. There we go. This is easy oil painting. It's supposed to be easy. I'm not here to make things difficult. I'm here to help you create nice paintings with just nice, easy, relaxed techniques. Nothing dramatic, nothing fancy. There are plenty of other channels out there if you want to do masterpieces that look like photographs. Plenty of them. I'm just here to make things nice and simple and kind of help you just get the grips with oils. Now I'm going to move to a smaller brush. Actually, you know what I will do first? I'm just going to take a soft blender brush and I'm going to just very gently soften some of these down. Very, very, very gently. Okay, look, just to take some of the harshness out of these. Just a little, alright? That's all, just a tiny, tiny bit. So come on, what's wrong with it? Nothing at all. Now, I am going to take a small pointy brush, right? I'll show you now. I'm going to get a small pointy brush. Let's say this one. And I'm going to take a little black. Or perhaps even a bit of dark brown there, okay? And I'm just going to suggest some little details, little ridges, that kind of stuff in the rock, look. And it's just a little, just one or two little details, that's all. It just adds a bit more interest to the rock, I find. You see? Cool, isn't it? Couple of wiggles. It's almost like painting a tree upside down. Kind of little branches popping out here and there. And that's that one. Let's go over here. Let's add a couple to this one here. Around there. One or two. And I hope you're enjoying this now. As I said, next week I'll do a two-part because I don't like rushing tutorials too much. Because they feel rushed when you're watching them, and I know that the finished painting may look rushed as well. So I want to kind of take my time and I want to spend a bit of time talking with you and you know, tell you a little bit about my life and what I like to do and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I want to take my time next week. Now a little bit of highlight, look. I just took some yellow with some white, touch of Naples yellow, and I'm just going to just look, some little fine highlights just here and there. Again, the very same way I did with the black, just a little wiggle here and there. Doesn't that look much better now, doesn't it? See? Nice easy rocks. Let's try this one, right up at the corner. Put it down, and it's kind of hitting and missing, isn't it? Here and there, see? That's all. Simple. Who said rocks have to be complicated and difficult? Huh? Come on now. Okay. Let's call those rocks finished. Water. My water. Looking forward to doing this. I'm going to just basically, for the water, I'm going to go and put a dark here, put a dark blue here, and another dark brown here. Alright? I'll start with the dark brown, touch of black. I'm going to put it down here, look. Let me take a touch of sienna. And I'll do the same on the other side. I'm going to perhaps even take a touch of white into that brown, because it's a little bit rich, isn't it? And I'll do the same here, just where I think the rocks sort of meet the water, and just put it on down. Come on, nice dirty kind of mucky colour, look. Perhaps a little bit of black into that. Alright, clean the brush very quickly, and let's take some dark blue and perhaps a tiny bit of black. Put it in there like that. I'd perhaps take a little white into that, maybe a little dark. So I'm just blocking in the three colours that I have above. Alright, very simple. And you can even put some of the blue through some of this brown as well, look. Just a little bit of it here and there. Now, so we have that already starting to look like water, isn't it? And then I am going to take a, let me see, a smaller brush, okay? The one we use for the first highlights, medium kind of a flat brush. Small stubby brush is perfect as well. And I'm going to start adding a couple of darks. So let's just take a little black and perhaps a little burnt umber. And wherever you see the darks, okay, let's just copy these. So this one is going like that, alright? So let's put one here. And let's pick up some more dark colour. We have another small one here, let's put another one here. And let's do the same up there, okay? Let's do this one here, so let's put this one across like that. And we have another one next to it, and another one there. This will all make sense now very soon, okay? Now let's try the highlights. We have some Naples yellow, some burnt sienna, and I think that will do. We have a nice highlight going here, don't we? So let's just copy that. Follow that along. And we have one or two here. Let's put this one in here and one around here. Okay, more Naples yellow, little touch of burnt sienna, and we have a couple there. See? Very simple, isn't it? And just put one here and this one here. Okay. Now, next step, I'll take a soft brush, right? Soft brush, and I'm going to just literally pull those downwards, very, very gently. Look, I'm hardly touching the canvas. All the way across, straight down, and then let's go gently across them. Now I have to do my water yet, okay? Not to worry. The waterfall. I'm going to take some white with a little phaylo blue again. Nice bright whitey blue colour. And let's just pull some of those reflections down as well, look. Couple here and there. Okay, nice and simple. And then pull them down as well. Soften everything together. Let's soften in some into that mist up there, look. Very carefully. There. How's that looking? Pretty good, isn't it? And all we have to do is take our palette knives, and you've seen me doing this loads of times, haven't you? Palette knives, a little bit of white, and let's just add one or two small little ripples, small little lines here and there, just to suggest the kind of the ripple and the shimmer on the water here and there. I won't overdo it, look, just a couple, just a few. And then run your soft brush across it very gently. That's a nice easy reflection, isn't it? Nice and simple, not too complicated. And look at that. And how nice is that? Isn't it wonderful? And of course you can keep adding little details to that all you want. You can keep going with highlights and shadows and whatnot. I might take a little bit of white and add a little touch of very bright highlights to some of the edges on those rocks, just to really make them kind of pop. See? Just a little. And there we are. And what's the very last thing we have to do with a painting? You have to sign it, don't you? I come down here and sign S. Conway. And I will frame this, and it's for sale. Okay? And I'm a very generous person, and I think this now with a frame for maybe €100. I think that's very cheap, isn't it? Let me zoom in there and have a look, see what we have created. Now, how is that? Isn't that lovely? And I just kept it very, very simple. Isn't that lovely mist up there? I love that. I really love that mist. And down then to our very bright waterfall coming over with some lovely rocks and some fantastic little reflections. Nice and easy, wasn't it? So there, I hope you enjoyed that now. Done. Let me turn the camera here, and I want to show you something which was sent. God, look at the lights there. God, I'm desperate. I'm tangerine. It's like you've been tangoed. Right, I want to show you something that someone sent me all the way from Greece. Reverend Chris, he sent me on a beautiful gift, and he made this all himself by hand. Now what do you think of that? He carved all the wood by hand himself. Isn't that fantastic? And it is Saint Kevin of Glendalough in Ireland, in County Wicklow, and he painted this. Wait, let me zoom in here so Chris can see it. He painted all this by hand. Isn't that just amazing? And he sent it to me as a thank you for these wonderful tutorials. I really am gobsmacked, and I'm speechless, to be quite honest. So Chris, thank you very, very much for that. I really appreciate that. But isn't that wonderful now? That now will go proudly up on my shelf there, and that'll bring me loads of good luck. Not that I haven't got good luck already, you know. I'm blessed with a wonderful family and a gift that I can share to others. So that's enough of me blabbering on. Go and get some paint and brushes and have a go off that. If you want any information on my brushes, or if you want any hints or advice, if you want to show me your work, just email me, stephenconway12@gmail.com. Pop over to Patreon if you want to support me there and see all my extra tutorials on that. You'd love them. I will see you back here next week. I have a request now from someone that I might try next week. I won't say what it is, it's a nice one. I have lots of nice ones actually, so I'll see you next week. Don't go anywhere, come right back to me next week and have fun painting, okay? Keep it simple, and God bless you all, and thank you so much for all your support. You've been very, very kind. So I will see you next week. God bless and take care.